a name in English is free hemp. In Poland, hemp and cannabis is the same word. So I'll speak in English. I haven't used it for ages, so sorry, I'm not the best in English. In Nepali, I know only Ramrocha, Tato, Chisopali, Danyebat, and Dalbat. Namaste. So maybe Namaste at first. What I want to talk about. I'm not first time in Nepal. Why I came first time? Now maybe I'm 8th time. I didn't count it even, but more than 5. And first time, like almost 10 years ago, I left from my government put me free from the prison. Then I was a member of parliament, but after a few months in prison, jakie jest odszkodowanie? Compensation, yeah? Our government gave me the compensation, like 10,000 euros, and some of it I spent for my holidays in Nepal. So I was dreaming about that one time I'll go to Nepal. I was never think that it will be for my for cash government for my period in prison, but Nepal is connected with hemp, with cannabis, so it was my goal. I'm wearing hemp and cotton shirt, what I bought here, and we're still trying to do the same in Poland, to increase, to reborn some business. Poland was also quite famous because of hemp, mostly because of usage in industry. And hemp industry was a quite big percent of Polish income before Second World War. After war, we was on the Soviet occupation. Thank you. We was on the Soviet occupation, and even during that time, we produced a lot of hemp for the army clothes, mostly. After that, during the Nixon revolution, early 70s, and finally in 90s, when we became a democratic country after Soviet occupation, we almost lost our hemp industry. Machines was destroyed, fields was abandoned, and even all people who knows the technology died. So now, as a movement, we create some crowdfunding actions. We collect cash, like for one company, divided by vice president of our association, collect like more than $2-3 million to create first Polish hemp factory, and that business called Hemp Factory. We're trying to create textiles, because in Nepal and in Poland, I write down something like ganja leaf, hemp leaf, and what's the main usage of hemp generally, not in, now is the, one more word, charas, I know charas, of course. So, cannabis means like for smoking, recreational or medical. Now it's one of the biggest part, like 80% of income from global hemp, except illegal, it's medical cannabis, medical marijuana. And it's also can be a profit and part of economy of Nepal. Not on two things. Recreational cannabis, if it will be legal, means tourists, yeah? I think that Katmandu could be better than Amsterdam for the touristic like that, and it was that. Beatles, like Pink Floyd, they were not traveling to Amsterdam, they were traveling to Nepal because of the great culture, because of legal hashish, and I think that it will be a way if it will be legal soon. Second goal, medical cannabis, medical marijuana. Here could be a, because you're collecting marijuana from wild fields, so you could create a product like THC extracts, for the Western companies, like for example Canada, or United States, or even Spain, or even in Poland. Nepali companies could be a supplier for the Polish pharmacy, because now we won after 15 years of my, not only mine, but my association job. We started like 15 years ago, and after 15 years, it's still illegal to possess cannabis for private usage in Poland, and it's hard crime. You could go to prison up to 10 years even for possessing. I got a trial, I had to come back to Poland, because 11 years ago, police catched me with half kilo of marijuana. It was like typical here with seeds. It was not like from Amsterdam, buds, just homegrown. They catch me with that, and it's a trial, and penalty for me is from 1 up to 10 years. So it's a serious problem when they catch you in Poland with ganja. But after 15 years, finally we won, and in Parliament, our Parliament 2-3 years ago legalized medical marijuana, medical usage. So now you could go to doctor, he giving you prescription, you could go to pharmacy and buy cannabis. But it's still not produced in Poland. We're taking it from Germany, from Denmark, from Canada, from Israel, many countries, and we're still fighting for two things. To legal small production, like 3-4 plants to home grow for every patient or adult. And second route is to create legal Polish plantations with institutes, with farmers. It should be a restricted area, like with lamps, can't be grown outdoor. Have to be, because of the European Union law, it have to be grown in the closed area with the lamps, with the old technology system and so on. But that matter. It's the main now. The main usage of cannabis in early till the 60s, because now in that moment now it's a little bit changing, because about 80% of usage of cannabis is ganja. Yeah. And only 20 is industry, textile industry, bricks production, or not wooden, but hemp wood, blades, so on, so on. Only 20%. Still only, but in early 80s, 95% was ganja, illegal or legal. Now, but what was before or till the end of 60s? It was totally opposite. 80% of whole amount of cannabis usage was industrial. So we produced paper, we produced textiles, we produced paints, explosive materials, a lot of things, industrial usage, not smoking. So our goal as an association is to balance that level. Of course, ganja is important for me. I like to smoke. I'm a patient. I'm a legal treatment in Poland with cannabis because I broke my arms and still a little bit pain. And for me, it's better to use ganja than to use other painkillers. But we want to create in Poland. We want to create company which produce like called kombinat konopny, so means like hemp factory. We want to produce. In this year, we started 2 years ago, first socks, the cheap socks. Then, because it's hard to create machines, we have to start from zero level. Like to create machines, to create, jak jest nitka?
Rope?
Not rope.
Fiber?
Yeah, not fiber, but that thing what you, like small rope. Yeah. So we need to create machines. Then we need to create machines producing textile, because mostly what I found in Nepal is handmade still. And why? Because it's still illegal to produce here even industrial hemp. You could start your business, create bags for towel, but you can't organize your field, invest for machines, because it's still illegal. In Poland, the situation is a little bit better, because we've got in our law what defines what is cannabis and what is hemp. Level of THC, of course. So in Poland now it's 0.34% of THC. So everything less or equal is legal, everything above that level is illegal. And you could create like a factory, you could have your own fields, because for the textile production, you can't got different plants. You need dedicated plants, like for charas, and for everything what you do from hand. If you want seeds, you need other part. If you have to press oil, you have different kind of cannabis. If you want to create paper, you need different kind of cannabis, lower. If you want to create, for example, bricks, you want higher cannabis. So it's that's why you need law that that you can legal produce have your own fields with your own genetic. And what I think about Nepal also increase from hemp textiles. We are not typical tourists, but we spend 70% of our cash here in Nepal buying hemp things. But I see in Tamil many things made from hemp. So it's also a possibility. Paper, very important thing. Paper, it's not only paper, it means cellulose. Cellulose, you could use in paper, well, cellulose, you could use it in many different kind of industry. As I said, explosive materials, nitrocellulose is the easiest explosive materials using in the mines, especially here in the country with so many rock roads. It's easy to, for sure they're using explosive materials to create tunnels and something also nitrocellulose taken from hemp. It's easy, you could create from it paint, paper and many more. Polish constitution was written on hemp paper. First dollars and now dollar banknotes are like 60% of hemp in it. So United States constitution was written on hemp paper. So hemp paper is like locta paper, but we don't have that locta plant in Europe, so we used hemp. It was easy to grow, easy to cut, easy to produce something from it. And bricks, I will call it hempcrete. Whoops, I'm left hand. So means hemp concrete. Hemp concrete is a really cheap thing what you could create, walls, bricks. I heard that, I've got one friend living near India border. They are from Nepal, and they created like now one school and one hospital created from hemp concrete. It's easy technology. If you've got sticks, you need only to take out fiber and that wooden pieces, and you'll mix it with calcium and water, and it's easy. End of the job. So hempcrete, if you don't need technology high like 21st century, because we made it in 19th, all the things what you see here, we made in 19th century by Polish farmers. So I think that it will be easy. One thing more, very important. From seed, you could take, what's Switzerland doing? Switzerland is one of the jak jest rozwinięte, high developed country in Europe, and they taking seeds from the farmer and collecting seeds in the big bunkers. And I asked them, why are you collecting seeds? Because if will be a fuel crisis, we will press it for fuel, for diesel. Hemp fuel, hemp oil is really easy. You could, for the old diesels, you don't need any raffination. You just put in hemp oil filtered to the old diesel and like tractors, something, and it's working. Old trucks, old cars, Mercedes, Volkswagen works with hemp fuel very well. Ford, the first car, was also was working on the hemp fuel. Ford was quite fanatic of hemp. So, fuel. And for the moment, it's one of the fuels. Expensive here in Nepal. I thought that in Poland it's expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive here.
Come on, yeah, it's like gold. Yeah, whoa. But that's why I'm talking. Chinese machine to press oil from hemp seeds costs like we check the simple Chinese oil presser costs like $300, $200. And if you've got seeds, you could produce like without any problems. It's not high consumption of energy, of electricity. It's like 500 watts or less. So you could produce easy. You could produce fuel, diesel. So I think that showing that the prices of fuel is also alternative, especially for the small communities living in mountains. What I showing that it's easy to grow hemp. Of course, here you don't even to have a hemp growing because it's everywhere here. So it's easy to collect, and I think that hemp is the future. Hemp is the past of many nations, and hemp is the future of many nations. So we have to reborn that business here, and it's my mission also. Mission of our association to establish some kind of cooperation between Poland and Nepal, between other Western countries and Nepal, because I think that it will increase economy easily, especially in some abandoned communities in Western, because they don't have cash for machines, they don't have cash for investitions, so like for machines, trucks, or technology. So it's easy to buy a generator, and fuel comes from hemp, and you'll have energy, and then you could create bricks, hemp concrete, like a house, some fiber, because if you take that wooden piece, and it's also easy. During 19th-20th century, it was handmade in Poland, or simple operated by hand machines, just crushing sticks and taking fiber. And I saw it near Katmandu, Bhaktapur, like they taking fiber, raw fiber from village, and then they knitting it some better material. So it's the solution to take thing to create your own house, your own fuel. Then from that fiber you could create other companies. In Katmandu you could create cellulose from charas taken from nature. You could create medical cannabis, medical products, not cannabis, medical THC extracts to sell it in other countries, like Western countries. And also recreation cannabis, if it will be legal, it will be an opportunity to start. But also in medical, what I saw in Nepal, we are involved. We've got also a huge problem with alcohol. We are an alcohol society. In every occasions, we drinking vodka, hardcore alcohol. Many people dying because of alcohol addictions. Many crashes on family crisis, and it's a disaster in Poland. It's counted like more than 20% of Polish people have a problem with alcohol, and more than 10 is totally addicted. So cannabis is one of get out drugs. Many people quit with alcohol, with cannabis, and so it is the way of treatment also. It helps also many patients with HIV. And in Poland and the United States was one of the first reasons to legalize cannabis, to make for sickness people better life. You know? Especially HIV, Yaskra, many diseases, but it's a treatment. And here I don't have to explain you because in Nepal it's used more than for 2,000 years or something like that. I was in the doctor here and said to me, we're writing a prescription just ganja. Okay, great. Cannabis, floss, extracts, percents, we just writing ganja. So I think that it could hemp, as I said, hemp is the past of Nepal and it's the future. So how it goes, I'm not a realist, but my friends has got a slogan like Jai Des, Jai Charas. So let's stay with Jai Charas. Thank you, Andrzeja.